This week on Vallo Vision News, tragedy in Texas. America's largest mass shooting at a place of worship occurred over the weekend at a small-town Texas church. Find out what new information officials are discovering about the killer's motive.
And eating your fruits and vegetables are typically encouraged, but experts say something could be on both foods that can cause infertility. Find out what you need to do to protect yourself in today's Health Minute.
Vallo students found a creative way to spend their Halloween supporting their passion for music education. I'm Seth Hagen. Coming up, find out how these students use their costumes to benefit their cause.
Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Elizabeth Reinhart.
And I'm Alex Tejada. Thanks so much for joining us. 26 people are dead and many more injured after a shooting at a small-town church in Texas Sunday. Investigators are now trying to figure out the reasons behind the worst mass shooting in Texas history. Karen Kafa is in Sutherland Springs, Texas, with the very latest.
It is a community in mourning after the worst mass shooting in Texas history.
We were a very close family. We ate together, we laughed together, we cried together, and we worshiped together. Now most of our church family is gone.
On Sunday, a gunman opened fire at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs. The dead, ranging from 17 months to 77 years old, and include the pastor's 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle Pomeroy, and 8 members of another family.
One thing everybody wants to know is why did this happen? It's a senseless crime, but we can tell you that there was a domestic situation going on within this family.
The shooter, 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly, had a history of domestic violence and had reportedly been sending threatening text messages to his mother-in-law, a member of the church's congregation. Kelly was later found dead.
Investigators found evidence at the scene that indicates the subject may have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Investigators say Kelly bought 4 guns in the past few years, 2 in Colorado and 2 in Texas.
Devin Kelly sought to get a license to carry a gun in the state of Texas, but the state of Texas denied him the ability to get a gun. So how was it that he was able to get a gun?
In Sutherland Springs, Texas, I'm Karen Kafa.
President Donald Trump has wrapped up his visit to Japan Monday, where he met with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The two underscored the closeness of their relationship and also the alliance between the two nations. Prime Minister Abe said he is 100% on the same page as President Trump when it comes to a policy to counter the mounting threats coming from North Korea. The leaders also discussed Japan's plans to purchase additional defense equipment from the U.S. in order to bolster their capacity to defend themselves against North Korea.
Senator Rand Paul has more serious injuries than previously thought after an attack on his home on Friday. A senior advisor to the senator says he has 5 broken ribs and lung injuries and that it's unclear when he'll return to work. Kentucky State Police say the GOP senator was assaulted at his home by a neighbor. A motive is not yet known. The FBI and U.S. Capitol Police are investigating. Assaulting a member of Congress is a federal crime.
Getting women more involved in politics. That was the theme of a discussion hosted by the Montevallo branch of the American Association of University Women at Carmichael Library last Thursday. Assistant Professor of Political Science Dr. Andrea Eckelman was the featured speaker at this event. She says students can start making an impact in the political arena now.
So many of our students are qualified to run for office, right? Just being a voting age. And so I think that understanding that that is actually an avenue that a lot of our students can pursue is really important.
It seems achievable for us to increase the percentage of women in elected offices to a critical mass where we can make some real change in the conversations.
Center for American Women and Politics, women hold fewer than 20% of the seats in Congress. Meanwhile, at the state level, women hold just under 24% of elected positions.
We're about a month away from Alabama's special Senate election. Voters will head to the polls on December 12th to choose our state's next senator. Republican Roy Moore is facing Democrat Doug Jones. If you are not currently registered to vote, you have until November 27th to fill out a voter registration form. We've placed a link to the form on the Vallo Vision News Facebook page.
Montevallo music majors found a clever way to support their music education and celebrate Halloween at the same time. Vallo Vision News reporter Seth Hagen has our story.
The National Association for Music Education, better known as NAFME, decided to use Montevallo's Halloween spirit to raise money and interest in music education. NAFME's chapter president, Dennis Yang, explains.
We're having a fundraiser because our music department takes Halloween very seriously, so we thought it would be a great idea to have a little contest to see who has the best costume and at the same time raise money for our organization.
The contest took place in the Davis Music Building at LeBaron Hall and cost $2 to enter. Students and faculty were excited for the chance to show off their costumes.
Spirit of the TARDIS, which is a police box, time machine / spaceship.
I am dressed up as Judy Hopps from Zootopia.
After taking their stand on stage, a small group of judges carefully made their decision. But for this motley crew of characters, the most important thing was the future for music educators.
We like to bring students together so that they have a better understanding of what it means to be a music educator.
Because music affects everyone, it benefits everyone too.
At the end of the contest, the contestants took the stage one last time for pictures. Since they had all spent their Halloween supporting their passion, everyone went home a winner. Reporting for Vallo Vision News, I'm Seth Hagen.
UM's Office of Counseling Services and Housing and Residence Life hosted a Halloween-themed tailgate last Tuesday before the Falcons' volleyball game against West Alabama. The tailgate featured free food and a costume contest, but it also helped raise awareness about destigmatizing mental illness. There was also a booth collecting supplies and funds to stock the campus food pantry. Students could donate goods or money to the food pantry for the opportunity to pie an RA in the face. The winner of the costume contest was announced during the volleyball game. Kayla Rollins took first place for her Doctor Who-themed costume, and she wasn't the only winner that night. The volleyball team defeated West Alabama 3-2. For more UM athletics scores, updates, check out Falcon Fever on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
UM's yearbook staff is looking for students to help design the cover of the next edition of The Montage. A cover design contest was announced on social media last week. The theme for the yearbook is Speak. The contest is open to all majors, and the deadline to submit designs is November 27th. We've placed a link with more contest details on our Facebook page. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week.
Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, the City of Montevallo will be raising sales taxes just in time for the holidays. Find out how much the increase is and when it will go into effect.
Plus, the early nights are back. Find out how the end of daylight savings time can take a toll on your health and how you can fix it.
And running into the record books. See how this year's winner of the New York Marathon broke a 40-year drought for the U.S. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. In consumer headlines, shopping in Montevallo is about to get a little more expensive.
And it's all thanks to a sales tax increase. The city announced that the sales tax increase will increase from 9% to 10% on December 1st. According to a press release, the city is telling all local businesses to prepare to adjust their registers for the increase. If you have any questions about the change, contact the City of Montevallo Revenue Department. The God of Thunder ruled the box office over the weekend. Thor Ragnarok debuted in the #1 spot, raking in more than $121 million. The film is the 17th straight #1 debut for movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to Screen Rant, Thor Ragnarok's debut pushed the domestic box office total for Marvel Cinematic Universe films past the $5 billion mark.
In health headlines, if your body hasn't adjusted to the end of daylight saving time yet, you're not alone. But in addition to your internal body clock feeling off for a few days, the switch to standard time could impact your health. Some studies have linked the lack of light to depression or seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, but there are some simple steps you can take to adjust to those early winter sunsets. Some psychiatrists recommend taking a morning walk right after sunrise. Experts also recommend bringing more light into your home during the day by keeping the blinds and shades open. Coming home to a dark house can cause a person to feel sleepy, so invest in lamps for the evening and set them up on timers so they are on before you get home. Health experts also say one of the most important things you can do during the time change transition is to maintain a regular sleep schedule. More than half of Americans say that the present day is the worst period of American history that they can remember. That's according to the annual Stress in America survey from the American Psychological Association. 63% of the adults surveyed said the future of the nation is very or somewhat significant source of stress for them. The number was slightly more than other common stressors like money and work. Women reported higher levels of stress than men. The report found a majority of the people did positive things with their stress. Just over half of Americans say that the state of the nation has inspired them to volunteer or support causes they value.
We've all heard it from our parents a million times, eat your fruit and veggies. But according to a new study, what's on those fruit and veggies could prevent you from becoming a parent. Mary Maloney explains it in today's Health Minute.
An essential part of any diet, fruit and vegetables. Yet some produce may come with a little something extra, pesticide residue. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, eating fruit and veggies with high amounts of pesticide residue may lower your chance of pregnancy or cause pregnancy loss. The study looked at the diets of women undergoing infertility treatments. Based on the U.S. Department of Agriculture's pesticide data program, avocados, corn, and orange juice typically have a low amount of pesticide residue. Those with a high amount include peaches, strawberries, spinach, and peppers. Researchers say more stringent study is needed to determine the exact link between pesticides and pregnancy. But if you are trying to get pregnant, eat foods with a lower amount of pesticide residue. Or go organic. Just remember, that can be costly. Also, wash your produce under running water before you eat. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Coming up on Vallo Vision News, researchers made a surprising discovery at the ancient pyramids in Egypt.
But what they found is leaving them with more questions than answers. Find out why when we come back.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. An American woman won the New York City Marathon for the first time in 40 years.
36-year-old Shalane Flanagan was emotional after crossing the finish line Sunday. She said, "This is the moment I've dreamed of since I was a little girl." Her unofficial time was 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 53 seconds. She beat three-time defending champion Mary Keitany of Kenya by a minute and 1 second. It was the first major marathon win of Flanagan's career. A federal study released Friday says only human activities can explain climate change.
The Climate Science Special Report attributes global warming to greenhouse gas emissions since the middle of the 20th century. It says there is no convincing alternative explanation for the trend. The report cites warming temperatures, rising sea levels, more forest fires, and heat waves as proof the climate is changing. Several government agencies and academic experts contributed to the federally mandated study. President Trump has been a vocal critic of climate change. At one point, he referred to it as a hoax. Scientists have discovered a secret space inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, but what's inside remains unknown.
For centuries, scientists and archaeologists have probed inside the largest and oldest of Egypt's famed pyramids. But until now, none had stumbled upon a 30-meter-long space hidden within its limestone and granite walls. The Great Pyramid contains 3 previously discovered rooms: the King's Chamber, a smaller Queen's Chamber, and a passageway called the Grand Gallery. This marks the first discovery of a major space inside the ancient structure since the 19th century.
Okay, I'm waiting on the National Treasure movie to be about this story.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I hope they have somebody that can understand hieroglyphics, because you could get lost in that maze down there.
I know, it would be so cool to figure out what everything down there is, though. It'd be very interesting.
Whoa, 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 Nacho fast.
Today, Monday, is National Nachos Day. According to legend, nachos were accidentally invented by a Mexican man named Anaya. He had quickly come up with a snack after a group of hungry people showed up at his restaurant. The only items in the kitchen were cheese and tortillas. So Anaya cut the tortillas into triangles and melted the cheese on top of the chips and added a few jalapeno peppers on top for good measure. Anaya's nickname was Nacho, and his creation was named after him. During the 1970s and 80s, nachos became a popular item at sporting events after they were first sold at Arlington Stadium, where the Texas Rangers played at the time. I didn't know nachos had so much history behind them.
That's amazing. I'm sure he has lots of friends.
I know.
That's crazy.
It is.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Remember, you can get more stories from UM student reporters throughout the week.
Just head over to vallovisionnews.wordpress.com to see other news from around the Montevallo campus and community. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Vallo Vision News again next week.